Hey guys, I'm back, and today I just wanted to make a quick video. Quick, we'll see how long this takes. On the whole Unity situation, as if you've been watching my channel, you know that I'm a Unity indie developer ish. I make games in Unity, or I try to. I start a lot of projects. I don't really finish too many, but um, I wanted to go over the new changes and how it'll affect the games that I've been making and next steps for my channel. But first, let's just see what they're doing. So this whole, I'm sure I'm not going to be the first to tell you because it's been a couple days now. I've been contemplating making this video, but Unity is releasing a runtime fee where they charge developers that reach the $200,000 in revenue, 200,000 install threshold, 20 cents per install, which on the surface may seem not too big of a deal. But it is. The way they handled it is terrible. The fact that they can just charge for work they didn't do is terrible. Because at the end of the day, Unity's a tool. They're not making my game for me, or they're not like making the assets for the game. It's a tool that they released for others to use. It's like if you used Adobe to edit a video or something, and then Adobe starts charging you revenue on your video. It doesn't make sense. But on even this, like, they could have made this a lot better. Like, I wouldn't mind paying for something like this, even if, like, I'm probably never gonna hit this threshold, at least in the next Unity games that I do release. But this wouldn't be as bad if it was a per purchase fee instead of per install, because per install makes a lot of gray area here. Like, are free games going to be charged? Are, like, things like Game Pass, things like Epic, when they hand out free games on their launcher, if you install from that and it's a game from Unity, are they getting charged? Is this affecting games that have already been released? It it's a lot of gray area that Unity's done a terrible job of explaining. Just absolutely just boggles my mind how bad they are at clearing up the confusion. How many mixed signals we're getting. It's sad. It's terrible. But I digress. This it just hurts because I've been developing in Unity for what, like 5 6 years maybe. I think I've released my first big Unity game about like 3 years ago. Big as in like first like non-game jam game 3 years ago. But I think I started learning Unity about 4 or 5 years ago, and now they're betraying the trust of the entire game development community without any consultation with the industry, and have just pretty much killed their company. And I love the tools that they provide, but I can't really in good conscience use it anymore. For my backrooms game, since it's much further in development than any other project that I've made right now, and I'm very much committed to releasing it, is still going to be made in Unity. I'm not going to be restarting it on another engine. That game is 100% still going to be made in Unity. But as for Directive Judgment or any other future projects, those will all be made in another engine. Mostly because Directive Judgment is in a weird spot right now where I don't really know what I want to do with it. I don't know if I want to make it a horror game or a survival game or what I'm trying to do with it right now. So I'm probably going to rebuild that from the ground up in likely Godot, which, if you're a developer looking for an alternative engine, might I suggest the closest thing to Unity is Godot, because it similar to Unity, it's 2D and 3D, and the engine itself looks similar to Unity, and I've heard, and it's open source, which means they can't start charging you for random shit. You know, the CEO, like, I think his name's John Risatello or something, literally Mr. Krabs. If you know anything about him, he worked with EA or something and brought up possibly charging like $1 per reload in Battlefield. He's literally like modern day Mr. Krabs, like the real world Mr. Krabs, but 10 times worse. He's terrible. I hope he like chokes on a pebble or something. But I will no longer be using Unity, like many other developers throughout the community. After my Backrooms game is done and releases, which will be a while, but even before that, any other future projects, game jams, smaller game videos, stuff like that, all gonna be in Godot. I actually plan on releasing a video probably in a couple months, when I get the time to do it, of remaking the first ever game I made and published in Unity, but in Godot this time, and remaking it just to see how far I've come as a game developer. But this is like it for Unity. I'm releasing this Backrooms game. Thankfully, like, or not really thankfully, but the threshold is pretty high when you really think about it. So chances are, because like if I'm charged $10 for my game, put it on Steam, they take, say, they take what, 30%, and then the 20 cents per, let's pull up the calculator real quick, the 20 cents per um install, that's $6.8 per purchase. And if I don't even get halfway to the install threshold, that is like 680,000. So 100,000 installs, and I make $6.8 per install. That's $680,000. So I'm probably never gonna reach the threshold where they start charging me, but just the breach in trust is insane. The fact that they're springing this on there and their communication is pretty much just absent. They barely said a word. I think today they came out with like a semi response. Like they said, answered some questions, but they didn't really. It's weird. But I can't really, in good conscience, use Unity anymore. And it's also killed itself as an industry standard. No company is going to want to use Unity when they're charging this for installs. No AAA company, no big game company, if I ever sought to bring my skills to a larger company, would ever be wanting to use Unity anymore. So, either way, Unity is dead. They've just absolutely killed themselves with this new policy. So, that's it. I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. Actually, no, that's not it. One more thing. Seeing the game development community come together in hatred for Unity, everyone abandoning it because of this breach of trust, is almost heartwarming. How many both big and small developers, inner like the creators of Among Us even came out with a statement. Creators of Cult of the Lamb, a bunch of indie game developers are coming out and abandoning Unity, and it's honestly heartwarming to see. If you are an indie developer, I would 100% recommend you never touch Unity again, because you can't really trust them after something like this. Like, even if they were to roll this back, I would still recommend you take your skills somewhere else, because you can't trust Unity like after they make a change like this anymore. And even if you like are currently in a project, if you can, if you're not too far in, try and switch, because even I'm still wary about putting out a like putting out a game on Unity, because who knows, they can change this policy whenever they want. They can increase the price to whatever the hell they want and apply it retroactively to games, and I'm kind of just like, well, do I suck it up and go broke, or do I take my game off of Steam and no one else can ever get access to it? Which I don't want, because it's a work of art. Really. Not really like, I'm not saying like my game is super good, like it's a work of art, but game development is an art form. It's art. I want people to be able to experience the stuff that I put out, if you get what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm rambling at this point, but then again, this video is just me rambling. Uh, now that's it. That's everything. I just wanted to make a short-ish video covering the topic and talking about what I'm going to do in response the future of the games I'm making and all that. So that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.